All right. Well, happy, beautiful, amazing day. Dr. Bob Rakowski, Organo Blue Diamond out of Houston, Texas, with this week's edition of Your Path to Better. So, first, a little background on me. First and foremost, I'm a family man. I have a beautiful wife of 34 years, three great kids, three granddaughters, and a fourth on the way. 31 years in clinical practice. I've treated world champion athletes from every major professional sport. And I've also seen the other end of the spectrum, people sent home to die that thankfully, some of them are alive even decades later. I have a passion for sharing health information, and thus I've taught over 10,000 hours of seminars on 6 different continents. So I am a recognized authority in nutrition, in functional medicine, in health. So first and foremost, you can take this data and check all of it because you're going to find out that this offering is going to be one of the best things you've ever seen. But a little story, I once had a very significant scare, and I tell people a shark in the water would have been less scary for a shorter period of time. Mine was an X-ray report. It came over a fax as I was leaving town. And the radiologist said, you know what? I don't like what I see. I'm recommending a bone scan. And so here's the problem. They actually think that they might see something like metastatic cancer. Well, if you've never had that scare, I don't wish it on you, but you start thinking, what am I going to do if my time here is short? I thought, who's going to take care of my family? And I remembered this wisdom: your network is your net worth. So first and foremost, I want you to answer that question. Do you know this to be true? Think about the most successful people you know, the happiest people you know, maybe the most influential people. Maybe one person is all those things. They will likely have a very significant network. So if your network can create anything you like in your life, are you open to building one? Because that's what this opportunity is all about, with great products, great service, great mentorship in a great system, in a great company. Ed Milet, one of Fortune's richest 50 under 50, started with his first tens of millions in network marketing and translated it to hundreds of millions on his way to billions. And he would tell people, look, we have a system that multiplies time, money, and effort. I'll mentor you. Now, Ed's, past that right now in, rich land, but we've got plenty of multimillionaires that will absolutely mentor you if you decide you want to jump in and grow. Some advocates: Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, the late great Bob Proctor, Sir Richard Branson, Paul Zane Pilsner, Warren Buffett earns multiple network marketing companies. And all of these people are documented, or most of them, I should say, in Rise of the Entrepreneur, a great thing that you can see on YouTube. And suddenly you'll realize this business model has the best risk reward ratio of anything out there. I'm a fan of success. And this billionaire says, you know what? If you want to have a successful business, you don't want to be in the selling business. Why? Because you make a sale, then you need to make another, then you need to make another, then you need to make another. But he says you do want to be in the reorder business. So think about that. Make the sale once and get paid hundreds, maybe even thousands of times. And I'll show you how the math works out in this business. We have a healthier coffee, a better coffee, a clean, smooth, delicious, healthy, organic coffee that is award-winning. And here's a fact: people consume over 2 billion cups of coffee every single day. They do it in every country, every year. The market absolutely grows. Here in North America, the average coffee drinker drinks 3.3 cups a day. That means do the work once, and a year from now, you will have been paid 1,200 times. Simple question for you: can you enjoy, or at least learn to enjoy, sharing a better, delicious cup of coffee or tea? Because that's what we offer. Our King of Coffee, the best organic coffee, this award, and another award, up against hundreds, maybe thousands of brands. How and why did we win the best? Well, simply enough, we're head over heels above the competition. Smooth, creamy, delicious, tested, verified, turbocharged coffee. And what makes it turbocharged is something called Ganoderma, a superfood that's been around for thousands of years. There's over 3,000 published medical studies. And when people are worried about the downside of coffee, here's the beautiful thing. There's peer-reviewed medical literature that shows that Ganoderma negates or even makes a positive all of these negatives. So you can check out these references if you want, but simple enough. Put it in your body and see what it does for you. And now we have a triple blend that not only has Ganoderma, it has lion's mane, it has cordyceps, and people are feeling even more profound differences after a single cup. And by the way, if you're worried about your business going away, hey, our business is pandemic proof. Organo's offerings actually grew during the pandemic. Their second type of product they offer is skincare. I was at a conference just a few weeks ago, and this medical researcher talked about these things called obesogens, things that make you fat, endocrine disruptors, things that mess up your hormones in very, very common skincare products. There was a documentary over a decade ago called Toxic Beauty, and they said, look, people don't realize what they're putting on their skin. It may lead to cancer, birth defects, reproductive harm in men or women. And we don't want that, obviously. So Organo purchased an all-organic skincare line out of New Zealand. Keep in mind, when you put something on your skin, some of it goes in your body. So think of things like nicotine patches, hormone patches, things like that. You put it on your skin, some of it is going in. By the way, they also have soap and toothpaste, and these are also best in class. You look at the soap, there's our wonderful Ganoderma glutathione, the body's most powerful detoxification molecule, and grapeseed oil, all in one thing to give you amazing skin. And their OG Smile toothpaste, phenomenal. Basically, it's going to kill bad bugs in your mouth, get rid of bad breath. Create a wonderful, healthy environment in your mouth and being. Organo also bought a travel company called Travala. Now, keep in mind, the last couple of years, not much travel has been going on. But even with the little bit of travel that was there, you can save so much on rental cars and hotels. You don't have to go very far to make this pay off for you. And now that things are opening up, imagine 5-star resorts at up to 85% off. They also partner with a brain technology called NeuroTracker. So this is NFL quarterback Matt Ryan in front of a computer screen, training his brain in just 6 minutes a day. And it's proven whether you're 6 years old and having a hard time concentrating, or 106 years old and your brain is failing you, you can get a better brain in just 6 minutes a day. And many elites use this to just take their game to the next level. And speaking of elites, so Anika McPherson happens to be a patient of mine, an Olympian, a national champion, a world competitor. She happened to come into the clinic for a treatment. I gave her a CXT, and she said, oh my gosh, this is amazing. My brain and body feel fabulous. How do I get more? And by the way, my line is very, very simple. If you want more, 3 options for all of our products. You can be a retail customer. Hey, I or we are happy to sell them to you. You can be a wholesale buyer for a small fee. You get it at my cost, or you could get paid to consume and share the product. So when we start looking at opportunities, my mentor said you want to look at the company. I'll talk about that briefly, but 5 stars, the products, we reviewed those, all best in class, all with competitive advantages. Start looking at support. Organo, the company, does a lot of the heavy lifting. They do the product development, the shipping and receiving, the quality testing, you name it. They take care of that. And then you start looking at timing and money. Hey, do you think people are more or less interested in taking charge of their health and wealth than ever before? I think more than ever. And the money is in this business. So there's a picture of Organo's corporate headquarters, now 15 years in operation, in over 40 countries and expanding. And what really pushed my buttons in the very beginning is they have more quality certifications than the highest quality nutraceutical products that I recommended for both Olympic athletes, professional athletes, by the way, as well as people fighting for their lives. So you can't get a better proven product than what we're offering. So people might ask, is it worth it? Well, I'll tell you what, for me, it certainly has been. And for people that are willing to essentially grow and expand and learn to make friends and meet their friends and share better products, if you can master those skills, a great life of health, wealth, and happiness is ahead of you. And I listened to a YouTube video by a guy that was very successful. And he says, you know what, when I bring new people into the business, he says, I let them know there's going to be 3 phases. Phase 1, you're going to be overworked or underpaid. Now, think about that. If you were to start a new business, do you think it would take off tomorrow? Do you think you'd have, people beating down your door the next day? No, you've got to work sometimes 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, 360 plus days a year for years on end before you get out of that overwork, underpaid status. Now, in this business, hey, overworked, underpaid, that can take anywhere from 2 months to 20 years, depending upon your development. Then you're going to get to a point where you're fairly compensated, right? A good amount of money for the amount of time that you're putting in. But I think where most of us want to get, and I'm certainly happy to be here, is underworked, overpaid. So what do I mean by underworked? I put in 15, 20 hours a week supporting a team, and that's more than I did in most years. but that has generated over $40 million in sales. So literally, we have over 1,000 families that are earning an extra $500 a month. Wouldn't you love to have that type of impact on the world? Our first 5,000 might actually be really quite easy. If you're a standard coffee drinker, let's say you're drinking Starbucks or Tim Hortons or Dunkin' Donuts or McCafe or whatever, you're going to actually save more than $1 a cup. And that would translate to over $1,200 a year. And then it's actually estimated that the average person with a home-based business, a phone-based business, imagine being able to write off your cell phone bill as a tax deduction, your internet bill as a tax deduction, part of your residence as a tax deduction. All that is possible. And it's estimated the average person gets off to $4,000 a year in savings. The magic number for most people is $500 a month. So think about this. If you offered people a better coffee, a better tea, and an opportunity to not only look better, feel better, live longer, but to create their best and most impactful life, do you think you could find 10 people that would say, you know what, this makes sense, I'm part of it? Well, if you get 10 customers that are average customers, you're going to be at that $500 a month. But the next step is I like to go back to those 10 and say, look, you know how much you love this product. I'm earning over $500 a month, and I think you could do the same, if not more. So imagine you sharing it to 10 friends, and them sharing it with 10 friends, and them sharing it with 10 friends. Suddenly 10 can turn into 100, into 1,000, into 10,000, and the money can be absolutely crazy. So I'll definitely recommend this book, The 4-Year Career, Richard Blissbrook. He said, look, imagine that you put 4 years of effort into this. Would you be able to essentially walk away rich for life? Yeah, with minimal effort, you could maintain a wonderful business that you built. But having been a consultant for network marketing for over 40 years, he says, look, the average company pays about 7% of your team volume. Well, I can tell you what, Organo is above average. But 10,000 people, if they're just purchasing $50 a month, so that could be coffee, that could be tea, that could be energy drinks, that could be skincare, that could be soap, that could be toothpaste, that could be brain technology, whatever, any combination of all that. It's easy to get $50 a month. Well, guess what? Your team is doing $500,000 a month, and your cut likely $35,000 or above. I also like to talk about the time savings. If you get 10,000 people investing into your business just 15 minutes a day, that means you get 2,500 hours of invested effort every single day. What would it take you to do that alone? 50 hours a week, 50 weeks a year. That's what it takes, a full year of effort to do what people can do in their part-time. So compounding is absolutely amazing. So what does it cost to join our team? Normally $49.95, but for this month in North America, $20.22. I say North America because there's likely people on here from Australia and Africa and New Zealand and different parts of Europe and Thailand and wherever. Well, you might have a different special than we do, but in North America, $20.22 in your choice of products. And the company has what they call accelerator packs, good, better, or best. The bigger the pack you buy, the more money you make up front. Top investment, $1,300 in product. You get paid more money in more ways. And here's what I tell people about the worst that could happen to you is you won't have to buy coffee or tea for a while. And if you consume all of it, you're going to be healthier for it. Organo also has a global growth bonus. They pay up to $9,000 additional dollars in bonuses in your first 90 days for those that want to really start their business fast. This is also available multiple times a year for people that have existing businesses. Now I'm going to wrap up this quick day with 4 questions. I learned these from Jim Rohn, who, by the way, was a college dropout and in this business model became a multi-millionaire. But he'd wrap up with these words. He'd say, first and foremost, why are you here today? That's the first question. And really the second question is the answer to the first. Why not? Why not look at a path to better? Why not look at award-winning products with quality that is being recognized all over the world? Next question, why not you? Someone's going to say, you know what? I want to make a better choice. I want to share a better choice. I want to build my network. I want to build my influence. I want to build my fortune. And here's the final question, why not now? So the reality is the longer you wait to act on information, the least likely you are to act on it. So your call to action is simple. If someone referred you to this Zoom or Facebook Live or YouTube or whatever, get back to them and say, you know what, I'm ready for my best life, and let's start building for you. And as always, I'm Dr. Bob Rakowski, absolutely knowing that we can all be happy, healthy, and successful. So good day all, and God bless.